Now, a couple of areas where you felt like you've had some good success in running your business.
What I really love to do is run across that company that's just starting up and but is ambitious. So they need to build out an IT infrastructure quickly. I had a company in Chantilly. They went from 4 bare walls. They'd already found somebody to pull cables for them and build cubes for them. But I was able to get servers, get the firewall in there, get the switches in there, get all the PCs in there, hook them all together, set up all our applications, and move all the data that they had stored on external hard drives and bring it all together so they could function as one organization.
I assume they loved you.
They did. It was a very successful relationship.
It feels good because you probably set them up for more success than they would have had otherwise.
I'd like to think
you took care of many glitches, I'm sure, by setting it up from scratch. Yeah. I mean, I've noticed that myself, that, boy, it's better to have it cohesive than it is to try to patch together in retrospect. Can you share with us just maybe one or two insights that you would speak to the audience as business owners or people thinking of being in business? What would be a couple of philosophy points that you would say to encourage business owners?
Well, be realistic. I think that there are certainly people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, or the newer people like Mark Zuckerberg, who will create a very large company very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's not the norm. So set realistic expectations. Funding. It's really, really hard to bootstrap a company without enough money to eat and live for a few months.
Yes.
So you need to have a little bit of money in the bank so that you're not utterly dependent on your business right at the very beginning.
Of course.
So startup capital, and then basically determination. Probably. There are times when it gets to be challenging, and you just have to keep going.
Many business owners have shared with me that had they known what they were going to be hitting as they did it, they were grateful they did know because they wouldn't have tried it. I mean, you don't want to get a pre-briefing of the realities of everything because it might sound overwhelming. You take it to pieces and it can be okay. Now, I assume that you would say to anybody, no matter what level business they are, get your IT structure set up properly and your life is easier. Would that be a true statement?
Yeah, there are some things that are, in this day and age, it's so very, very easy for people to break in and steal information. That's probably the biggest single risk to small businesses, particularly if they're processing credit cards or something of that nature. So start with the firewall. Make sure that you've got that external security that will keep your business safe.
Yes.
The other thing is, penny wise and pound foolish. If you buy the $400 PC as opposed to the $800 PC with 3-year warranty, you end up with a PC that you can't always rely upon.
Is that right?
So just be prepared to, as soon as you can afford to, spend money on decent equipment because it will pay you back. You'll get more life out of it.
I would assume also this statement might be true that if you're working with somebody like yourself that has integrity, experience, and expertise, that you're going to get a lot for your money compared to just going out there unreferred and maybe paying too much for something, having somebody that doesn't actually complete the job as required. That's got to be an issue in this industry.
It is. I've seen small companies with 3 or 4 employees that are running a large server that cost them over $10,000. That was probably 5 times what they needed to spend. Yes. And it's certainly it's a real burden until they can grow into it. And often by the time they're big enough to take advantage of it, it's obsolete. So
wow, that's a bad scene.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Now, do you also, for the benefit of the audience, or anybody who would see this video interview, do you do a consult with someone? I mean, let's say a business owner just says, Alex, I'd just like to get your view of our scenario and maybe your comments. Do you do some of that?
Yeah, in fact, I'm meeting with a prospective client on Monday to do exactly that, to do some technology planning.
Okay.
Where we look at a variety of different issues. We don't just look at what hardware they might need, but we look at how to protect them, both from people who are trying to hack into their environment, or might be. We look at backups to make sure that if something were to happen to their facility and their computers, that they have the ability to continue in operations by having the data that they need. And then we try and advise them to plan and budget for the fact that technology becomes obsolete and we do have to replace it.
Okay. Now,